Hello traders, welcome back to another market update. My name is Nick, and in today's video, we're going to take a look at the currency market and see what is going on in terms of technical analysis. I figured we would start with EURUSD as we do per usual. We'll take a look at what's going on with euro dollar. Now, euro dollar sold off very nicely off of this recent pop that we talked about recently in our market updates here. You can see price came up to this general area. We found seller's resistance as we had expected to see, right? We started to see price sell off, and today it looks like we're catching a minor bounce. The big thing to me is I think that we are possibly headed down to this level here, which we had previously talked about, right around the 1.12 level. So we'll see if price can make its way to that point. I think that's a good starting pullback for EURUSD, and I think it definitely has that potential to even go lower if we start to see a nice little breakdown on that movement. So we'll be watching the price action there to see, and I'm sure we'll have a future update coming soon on EURUSD. Next up is GBPUSD, which did sell off very, very strongly yesterday. We had a nice big red day there. You can see the downtrend here still kind of playing out. We've got this downtrend structure that did hold ultimately. So price looked like it wanted to go through. It faked to the upside, and then it failed and actually broke right through that level, did not hold a support. So very, very strong selling came into the pound dollar yesterday. So should be interesting to see where this pair heads next. I think that where we're currently at, we're kind of testing this area of support right now. You can see we did in fact get some sort of a bounce off of this level here so far, but it's looking like it's failing. So it's possible that this price does something like this and actually breaks down. This might have actually been a very bearish thing now that we've got this kind of strong pin bar along the top of the move. I think that's a pretty good chance that this is a pretty strong sell pressure move that could continue lower. So just my thoughts there on GBPUSD. Now, dollar yen is another story here. You can see we have sold off for many days, and we actually caught a really strong bounce and filled notably the gap that we left open previously. So you can see really big movement to the upside. We held this low here right around the 100.93 level. We didn't quite get there, but we got pretty close, and price rallied strongly off of there. Now the big thing here, the big thing that I'm watching for on dollar yen is this level here, okay? We have previous resistance on the chart there where we found a lot of support, price broke clean through it, and now we're retesting it. The big thing here is with all this sell pressure, is the selling going to continue and push us back down through lows, or are we going to actually break through this level? Now, I think that there's a trade either way depending on what you're looking for. So for example, if you are thinking that dollar yen is bearish, right? If you have a fundamental bearish based on what's going on in the world economy, going on in the news, right? If you think that's all bearish, then it's possible that this could actually be a good, decent sell area, right? But if you think that things are going to recover, it's going to come down to what hits the headlines to an extent, because what hits the headlines will cause dollar yen to either move up or down, right? So right now, the technicals to an extent are thrown out the window for a lot of cases because you have some serious, crazy sell pressure that is driven a lot by news, right? So technicals, of course, are always something to consider, but I think in these times it is important to also consider the fundamentals. At least that's my opinion there. So with that said, my opinion is that I think we actually could see a break above a hold and continue on the dollar yen to the upside. I think that is something that is possible. I think we're sold off significantly, and that is possible. We get a nice little rebound, so we'll see if we can get that to happen. Gold is our next pair to look at. You can see catching a rally today so far, seeing some bullishness on this pair. We did gap up. We closed the gap, or we actually opened the gap down, sorry, and we closed further down. We're starting to see some sort of retracement. The big thing here with gold, in my mind, is that I'm still looking for a potential pullback. If I were to want to trade this, I'd be waiting for something like a pullback to this level, as we saw here, which was a beautiful trade that we caught there, right? A pullback to this level of support, found our trend line support, and we rallied off of that level. So looking for another similar scenario in order for me to get interested in gold. Of course, trading near the highs of 1700, right? And so we'll see if that can get broken, or if we're going to pull back first and potentially give some bulls some opportunities to try and get long and join the move. Next up is Euro GBP, which did find some rejection in this area. You can see price came up to this area. We found sellers step in and push price lower. So the big thing here is I think this is a bearish area for euro pound. around. I think it's possible that we see further downside to come. You know, of course I could be wrong about that, but just generally looking from the left, we've got levels of resistance, we've got a stretch market to the upside, and we've got a nice little pullback potential in a downtrend that we have been watching. So just my two thoughts on Euro GBP. Next up is dollar Swiss. You can see also catching a bounce, a lot like dollar yen is dollar Swiss, right? We see a lot of similar kind of movements. We see a lot of sell pressure, caught a nice little bounce, filled the gap, right? Big component there. We filled the gap, and now price is trying to see if we can break higher or if this level is going to actually hold as a resistance point to push price lower. I think we're due for a little bit more pullback, but that is just my opinion again. GBPJPY, very similar story. Of course, we can kind of go through this. You guys have heard it now a couple times. Basically, we're down at a level of support, which is a bullish area, right? We've seen some bounce, and I think that this pair possibly has some upside to see here on pound yen. And of course, these are all just my opinions. I'm sharing my own analysis. Now, Aussie dollar is another interesting one because this pair has sold off significantly, and we actually have held this low very nicely, right? Bullish, bullish, bullish along the lows here. This actually right here was a flash crash. Or at least it looked to be so, right? You had this really major move. This is when oil came out and basically dropped 30%. We had a crazy move on a lot of the Aussie pairs off the back of that as well. Euro Aussie is our last one for today. You can see price really crashed to the upside first and then now spiked back down. It looks like we potentially have some more downside off of this. I think it wouldn't be out of the question to see a move back to something like this level or even this level here, okay? Just my own 2 cents there on these currency pairs, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you got something out of it, and we'll see you guys back next time.